Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Planet Coaster. This episode, we are going back and filling in some of the dead spots that were left behind around the main road and around the roller coaster and the ship kind of flat ride near the entrance of the park. So, essentially it's going to be a lot of little details. Here, near the entrance of the park, everyone was kind of clamoring for a type of market or stall-like area, and so that's what we're working on now. We're putting some planters and things in the middle there to make it look like they sell flowers or some shrubberies, things like that you can take home for yourself. Doing a whole bunch of landscaping and trying to fill in, of course, all this area to bring in a lot of color and some clutter just to make it look busy. These type of areas, in my opinion, the best way to sell a marketplace is to just cram it full of stuff, and as much stuff as possible, the better. Also, we're going to be continuing kind of this dock feeling along the cliff face eventually, and so what I'm doing here is kind of going back in, putting some type of barrel roll kind of decoration just so we have some movement along the edge there. Also, we have a new pirate camp and some more shrubberies, some trees, bringing a whole bunch of greenery in. Now, at some point, I will be rerouting our current path for the roller coaster here off to the right, and then it'll wrap around that way. Still not 100% sure on how I want this done. I don't really want to go through the cave, but I also don't want to go around the cliffside, so I might have to end up routing it through a building, which will look fine. I just have to make sure it can clear the roller coaster. Of course, we're using the trees sunk into the ground to kind of give us the yellow flowers and things, and we're going to be building a small stall here. I don't know how well this one turned out. It was pretty rough to do. It took me a long time because I just didn't really have anything pre-planned out, and doing this small L-shaped structure is actually kind of hard just because we are using a half unit instead of a full wall unit, and that can cause some issues with roofing and things like that. So eventually we end up having to settle with a flat roof and some details on top, but for now we're just going to throw in the white walls, and we're going to use wooden frames to try and make it fit the theme as much as possible. And I've tried many roof variations from these tiled roofings, something like this to try and wrap the roof around, but the way it clipped through the building, and then plus it didn't really go with the rest of it, so I ended up just making it flat for a while, adding some more rope details just to try and clutter up and cover up as much as that white space as possible, because really it's just supposed to be like a white stucco. On the back side of it though, I am adding a little bit more of a modern touch, and that's because these stalls and facades and things, they're all really fake. They're supposed to look fake and feel fake from certain angles, and what this does is it sells the actual modernization of the area. So the front of the store might actually look like it's pirate themed or colonial or whatever you want to call it at this current stage. But the back end of it still needs a fridge area. It still needs, ventilation, for the people that work inside, storage space, things that are very modern. And it's always good to kind of throw that into your parks because, one, it really sells the feeling that, hey, this is a park. You're not making a historic town. I mean, you can if that's definitely what you want to do, but if you want to make a theme park, I mean, you have to do theme park elements. So here we are adding the wooden roof, which I think overall, I mean, fits the palette a little bit better. That way we have just less white and some more just wooden elements to tie in the building. Some stone arches, of course, to even break up the white elements some more. And we used some round columns sunk into the ground to give us some stepping stone type effects that lead up into the doorway for the people to get inside and work, even though there is the modern door in the back. we're going to put some flowers, some little shrubs, something to line that area. And then continue working on putting some palm trees around, because really I haven't used that many, and I should be using more if we're kind of going for a Caribbean-esque piratey type thing. Now with stonework, what I like to do is I like to use large groupings of stones and then go back in and almost make little pebbles that kind of that look like they broke off of them. This area is just a little side park, greenery space, and I even use some scaffolding sunk into the ground, and in my mind that looks like kind of a rickety old bench. You can also use the roof element that's like a wood trim and use that as a bench as well. And now this new structure, what we're working on, is actually going to be a bar. I haven't really built a bar or anything like that yet, and it might not be the only building in this area, but for now this is the only building here by the end of it. But we have, you know, a bar-like element in the middle there, nicely framed, a door to get back into the back storage. We're going to be putting a partially covered area where all the bar stools and things will go. And then on the sides, we'll just have some tables and chairs. Now, I would have liked to probably put in some like umbrellas over these tables and chairs eventually, but I couldn't really find anything that fit. We're going to use a stone trim around the deck area, just something, a low-lying wall, if I could speak, and just a simple tiled roof over half of it, and then followed by a half moon like stone element. And I can't really think of what I want to call this restaurant. I'm thinking maybe the Rusty Cannon. That might be a cool name for it, but I can't really make a custom sign at this point to do anything about that. Now I wanted to add a modern element to it, just like the other stall over on the other side, but I couldn't really get it to fit on the half moon very well, and I couldn't really sell that it was just gonna clash too much. So I had to just abandon that. And then we're adding some shelves, maybe some drink shelves on this area here. They can store bottles and things like that. And then of course we're going to use barrels for our chairs and bar stools. Or round tables on this one. The last restaurant had these square tables, or a square column. And we're going to also, you can see I'm trying to find something that might look like an umbrella for this, but really nothing fit. But I am going to add these beams in the middle of these anyways, as if the umbrella is folded down, who knows. I might come back to that and figure out something, or if you guys have any ideas, let me know. Gonna add a really flashy sign because it is a bar and they want to try and attract a lot of people. And also to the right of the structure, eventually like closer to that little overhang from the rock, I might end up adding more facade that way. But for now, it's just kind of gonna be empty. So at this point, I realized, hey, there's so much green space that we're not using. Either I could have put more shops or maybe some more flat rides, but I didn't want any more rides to take away from just the rocking boat there. And so what we're gonna do is a small rock garden and path area just behind the bar so people can hang out, have a good view, take some good pictures of the ship as it goes up and down, and just have a good relaxing kind of park over here where you can eat and drink a little bit more to yourself, away from the main path and things. Just rocks spread out around the area. We're going to use some shrubs to kind of bring in some more greenery and 3D elements, and of course some color splash using the bushes sunk into the ground, and then also the thin yellow, I think it's an asp tree. I think so. I think it's an asp tree. And at this point, I'm adding the wooden benches, which is that wooden trim we spoke about a little bit earlier. And then I'll end up eventually adding chimneys as little trash cans. That's a detail I think that fits really well in that context, using the small chimneys. I'm going to add some lights. Now, a shame about the map that we are building on is just there's no nighttime. Like you can see, it just flashes nighttime, because it just doesn't really handle doing that I guess they just had to remove nighttime for this specific map. Now, after a little bit of a skip, we're gonna do, of course, like we did last time, some slow pans over the area so you guys can see kind of the fully fleshed out. More greenery was placed. We built another little market area to the left of the main road, in between the road and the swinging ship. We have a pirate statue kind of surrounded by flowers. A nice little pan here just showing just all the nice little details that you're going to see as you are walking through the park. And it looks really good. I like how busy it's starting to feel. You can always cram in more detail and things like that. But for right now, I'm pretty happy with it. Here's the tavern bar area and the park's in the background there, and a nice view of the swinging ship. And I think that's all the pans that I have at the moment. So with that speed build and nice little panning shots, this is currently, in my opinion, one of the best views left in, at least at the current stage of our park. Gives us a nice view of all the greenery, the trees that we're starting to have planted, a lot of the facades to the right and parts of the roller coaster being wrapped around, and then of course the kind of main busy market area that we have down here. You know, if you guys enjoyed the build and everything like that, or you know, if you have any suggestions, or if you have any maybe inspirational parks to look at, let me know. I've been watching a lot of other people play the game and definitely trying to use some of their techniques in my own park, because really that's what these creative games are all about. Someone comes up with a cool idea, you incorporate it into your own, make it your own, and you start sharing it and bouncing ideas off of each other, and really it's just a great time. So thank you guys so much for watching as always. If y'all enjoy the content, feel free to subscribe to my channel for more creative goodness. Go ahead and hit that like button. Leave a comment down below on what you guys think. And I'll see you all next time in some Planet Coaster.